an Icebreaker for the second time. And I'd like to talk about what's inspired that. There's a few people that have inspired that. The person that's inspired me to start the CC again is Lance Miller, who was or is a world champion of public speaking. Now, we had the opportunity of Lance coming to our 60th club anniversary. And he said that every year he's been a Toastmaster, he's completed a CC. This has equaled 22 competent communication achievements. And when I sat there and listened to him, I thought, I should be doing that too. So, tonight I am launching on to my second Competent Communication Manual. Now, where I've drawn inspiration from the subject of tonight's speech is, as you can tell, my two boys, my two sons, Derek and James. Derek is a very austere 10-year-old boy. James is a precocious 3-year-old. I'm going to share some stories with you about both boys so you get a better sense of what it's like. Now, Derek, I've mentioned he is austere. That is because he is very mature. And so when he saw that his 3-year-old loved his lightsaber and wanted to play with that lightsaber at all times, Derek had it in his head that he was going to get the perfect gift for James, a lightsaber. Derek made it his mission. Every store we went in, he would scan the toy aisles, and he'd come back to me and say, "Dad, there's no cheap lightsabers in here." He's fiscally responsible as well. I was able to find him an inexpensive lightsaber, and when I shared the news to Derek that I had found him this lightsaber to give James, the joy on his face and the excitement that he felt with that thought really warmed my heart. And I thought back to when I was 10 years old. I didn't want to give any gifts to my sister. I wanted them all to me. I was very impressed that he was so generous of spirit at such a young age. Derek has also been blessed that he has found his passion in life very young. Derek is passionate about dance. I cannot tell you how joyful he is when he is on stage dancing. His studio selected him to go for tryouts for the National Ballet School of Canada, which, for those of you in the room that aren't as familiar with dance, that's a very prestigious institution. You have to audition to get in. I was fortunate enough to be the one to take Derek down to this audition. I'll never forget. The studio doors burst open, and out comes Derek. "I got it! I got it! I got it!" He was so excited. His joy, his exuberance, again, warmed my heart and made me feel very blessed that I was his father standing there next to him. While we waited for the adjudicator to talk, he was still bouncing. I'd never seen that side of Derek before, and it really thrilled me. Now, I've mentioned precocious little James as well. James is very creative, and his imagination is running wild. Right now, it is focused on superheroes, and in particular, Batman. Ooh. I find myself at playtime having to play two roles. I'm Robin, and I'm Mr. Freeze. Now, I like to think he selected me as his playmate, because when I assume the role of Mr. Freeze, I assume the role of Mr. Freeze. And I will kill you, Batman! Shh. Yes, I'm not above getting down and playing with my 3-year-old son. I love that he's creative. I love that he's telling these vivid stories of how we're chasing Mr. Freeze, frequently in an ice cream truck, across town. And I find it's great for Toastmasters, as you can see, it's improved my vocal variety as well. But I really want to nurture the creativity and the imagination that I am seeing in James, because I think that's a great trait for him to take forward in his life. Now, Mike Myers once said that they will tell you that fatherhood is a greatest thing that will ever happen in your life. And they will be telling you an understatement. I concur with Mike Myers. To me, fatherhood is the pinnacle of my achievements. It doesn't matter what I do in professional life. My sons are what make me the man I am today, and they continue to inspire me to be a better person. I hope I've given you a glimpse into the life of me as a dad and my two boys, who I'm blessed to call my sons, and given you a picture of what it's like to be a father in this crazy time we find ourselves in. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster.